welcome to another episode of the Mad Fantasy Football Podcast with your hosts, Begley, Goni, and Wayne.
What is up, Mad Mob? Unprecedented thing happening right now. We are doing a mid-season, quarter season Q&A. We couldn't stay away, boys.
Couldn't stay away. We're a podcast for the people.
Gotta love the Q&As.
Couldn't stay away. We're going into week 4, and we've just been itching. We get a lot of questions. We're doing the best we can to just answer them as we get them instead of just doing an episode about it. But it's our thing. We love these episodes. You all love them. So we're going to do our best to just kind of randomly throw these episodes into the season. We're still sticking to the schedule. You know, every Thursday morning, Friday morning, Tuesday morning, you're going to get your content based on the weeks. And we're just going to throw in random dabbles of Q&As.
I think we should do this as much as possible.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say we have a lot of fun doing these episodes.
Yeah, I was just wondering why Wayne said it like that. That's all. Every Thursday morning, Friday morning, and Tuesday morning.
Like he was telling a story.
Well, just why do you start with Thursday? Thursday, Friday, Tuesday. It's just weird to me. It's
fun,
good, man.
Are you good, man?
We got
it. Is this the type of episode this is going to be?
Oh, man.
We're already going down this road. This is the type of episode it's going to be. Mad Mobby chose violence already, and we're not even into the episode.
Woke up and chose violence.
Nobody's a bigger critique. Nobody's a bigger critique of Wayne than Goni, and I'm glad I'm here for it.
But Mad Mob, you don't even know. We have a group text where we, schedule the times to get on and content and all that. And 3/4 of the episode is Goni critiquing me and telling me what I did terribly and what I need to improve on. We've got Begley that's been coming in, sounding like he's calling in from an airplane flying over Nova Scotia. And we haven't even talked about this. We finally, because I got him a nice mic, and the man hasn't had it plugged in. If you noticed an increase in his audio quality over his last episode, before we recorded it, I jokingly said, "Dude, is it plugged in?" And we followed the cord to it, and the thing wasn't even plugged in. And I'm the one always getting ridiculed. I don't know if it's because Goni sees me as a threat. That's it. He sees me as a threat. That's what we'll go with.
Man, that is comedy. Beggs gets it like every day regardless. I listen to the episodes the day that they come out, and before I even get 5 minutes in, it's Beggs, your audio quality sounds like you're recording from a hole, from a bunker in the ground somewhere, man.
It's fixed. We're good. Wayne sold me a lemon. I went out and got a new one. We're good now.
Wow.
I'm gonna get right to the.
Wow.
That's not true. That's not true. It was user error. I'll fall on the sword.
I've been telling Goni that he for some reason he sets up his camera to cut off half of his head every single day and refuses to adjust any sort of angle or anything. He just you get half his head.
This is what we do. This is how we critique each other. It's pretty excellent.
There's gonna be doinks laid down this episode. I feel it in my bones.
Yep.
Just airing out the dirty laundry on air. You like to see it. All right, we're going to hop right into it. Friger 7. Friger. Friger.
Ermiger.
12-team PPR, 1 quarterback. Pick 2 for the flex. Metcalf, London, Devonta Smith, Gabe Davis, Judy, DJ Moore, Khalil Herbert, Breece Hall.
Holy crap, dude!
Let me bench one.
Rare 6-team league.
Let me bench one.
Yeah. DJ Moore.
DJ Moore. Let's bench DJ Moore. Let me throw one at you, Gone. It's a fence guy. How do you feel about Devonta Smith this week?
I feel all right about him. I mean, I kind of like it. He got some play. He looked pretty good last time around. I'm going to have to go back through these a couple times. Khalil Herbert seems like a must start. I feel like he's locked into the flex. Do you agree with that sentiment, Wayne, or are you?
If Demo is out, yeah,
He's been ruled out. Yes.
yeah. Khalil Herbert's going to just get an ungodly amount of volume. So pretty much what I'm coming down to then. Do you like Devonta Smith over Gabe Davis, Jerry Jeudy, and DK Metcalf? I'm leaning towards, yeah.
Who is Devonta Smith playing this week is the question. I
The
need
Eagles play the
matchups.
Jaguars.
Ooh, the Jaguars. Man. Devonta Smith, Gabe Davis just has such a juicy matchup, but I don't know if he's still hobbled, and even if he does play, if he's only going to see a handful of targets like last week. So I'm kind of nervous about that one. Just especially with all these other guys in there. You said DK Metcalf,
Jerry
who is
Jeudy.
playing. He's playing the Lions, right? Okay.
Yes.
Judy, I'm out on. I'll scratch him. Who else we got?
Drake London.
Drake London against Cleveland.
Yep. Banged up Cleveland, by the way. Drake London is a start for me.
Is Denzel Ward starting though?
Denzel Ward is questionable. He's hobbled.
Questionable and hobbled, he says. I'm actually showing that he doesn't have an injury designation as of yesterday. So
Okay.
I would expect him to be locked and loaded, shadowing Drake London every snap.
That's a tough matchup for a rookie to be prepared for. I think before he starts dominating those matchups, he's got to see him a couple times. So I'm out on Drake London this week. I'm out on Jerry Jeudy. I'm obviously out on DJ Moore. We're all in agreement. Start Khalil Herbert. I'm just liking Devonta Smith these past couple weeks, man. I'm with you that it's kind of like a Gabe Davis go through, but he's been hurt. You don't know what kind of snap count he's going to be on. And Devonta Smith has been doing incredible. And so is Jalen Hurts. He's throwing the ball almost 40 times a game.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate it by any means. I'm probably gonna still take Gabe Davis, and just in the hopes that last week was kind of fluky. It's got the highest over/under of the week. I'm expecting a shootout, but I'm not mad either way. I'd be happy to play either of those guys. We're splitting hairs at this point, at least for me, between Smith and Gabe Davis. It's just I'm gonna ride with my boy one more week here.
Yeah.
Riding with Justin Fields. Was Justin Fields an option?
Justin Fields ain't my boy.
Definitely your boy.
I'm going to go with Devonta Smith. I'm with Wayne. I'm not playing Khalil Herbert this week. I'm going to go Drake London. You guys know I'm on the podcast. I'm a fan. I've traded for him in 2 leagues. Wayne, before you call me out, he did it. He's done it against Lattimore and he's done it against Jalen Ramsey. I mean, that's the 2 best in the game. I'm riding with my guy. I think he's an alpha.
You think Drake London outscores Devonta Smith this week? Or you think he outscores – so you think he outscores Khalil Herbert this week?
I think he's a better play this week than Khalil Herbert in a PPR league.
Would you like to put a doink on that?
That he outscores Khalil Herbert this week?
Yeah.
Khalil Herbert's got the Giants. Sure, I'll put a doink on that.
Let's go.
Man, that hurts my soul.
I'll put a
Hurts
doink.
my soul.
What
a layup.
Now, now Bad Mob, while Goni's putting that in, I'm a little ahead the curve on Drake London on these guys. They're not there yet. They could be right. I could be wrong. I'm shoving my chips all in on this kid, man.
I commend you saying something and standing firm in your word.
I have to. I'm all in on this kid. I'm gonna ride or die with Drake London, man. All my fantasy, my dynasty teams. If he turns out to be trash, I just threw a year away. But he looks so good, man.
I agree. He's a great dynasty pickup right now, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just for the complimentary way of how we do this. I'm on Wayne's side. Khalil Herbert all day.
Okay. All right, we'll see, man. I feel like Houston made him look a little better than what he is, but we will see. Bob Geza, 12-man PPR. Najee and Michael Thomas or Debo Samuel?
For who?
In a trade?
Najee and Michael Thomas or Debo Samuel in a trade?
No. I'm
Yeah,
taking
no,
the Najee side, right?
Yeah, Najee.
Same Najee.
Yeah, I don't know that I would do Najee for Debo straight up.
That's hilarious. Just Wayne's reaction to that. He heard it. He didn't hear it. He heard it again. He like tasted it with his brain and then just spat it right back out.
Yeah, no, ugh.
You heard it rattling around in there.
Yeah.
The hamster was slow getting going, but once he sped up.
No, you're good. You're good. We're all in agreement with that. Najee and Michael Thomas.
It's all right. We need the layups like Bob Gaza just gave us. Luke to life. Luke to life. I'm a contender. I'm a contender, he says. 2 quarterback, super flex. He really wants to trade for Mark Andrews. He's right now got a 2023 first and second, Elijah Moore and Garrett Wilson on the table for Mark Andrews. Is that a huge overpay? 2023 first and second, Elijah Moore and Garrett Wilson.
I mean, he's a contender, so
Garrett Wilson and Elijah Moore probably aren't starting for him.
yeah, that's what I'm
So
thinking.
he's only getting exponentially better. I would do it if you're already contender and you're trading 2 bench players for the best tight end in the league. That only further secures you. I would do it. But obviously, if you throw all your chips in and you don't win this year, then you're going to be hurting in the future. But at least you'll have pieces like Mark Andrews is going to be good for years to come. So, but so is Garrett Wilson. So I think you definitely get a lot better this year.
I think it's definitely a move that you should do, without a doubt. I mean, you already know what Mark Andrews gives you. Look at the landscape of the tight end position this year thus far. They've been terrible. It's Mark Andrews, it's Travis Kelce, it's everyone else. Tyler Conklin is tight end 4, for God's sakes. Like, come on. It's just one of those things where it's a put you over the top move. Get yourself one of these top guys, and yeah, that's just what it is.
I mean, you're literally looking at on average, probably aside from the Travis Kelce matchup, you're probably looking at like a 10-point positional advantage on average every week.
Minimum.
Yeah, I totally agree.
You get a blow-up week, and you're crushing that position.
Yeah, and Lamar isn't going anywhere anytime soon. I totally agree. I think it's good value, man. I don't think you're underpaying by any means. You're not stealing Mark, but I agree. We would do it. Nothing to see here. 43.89. It's a PPR league. Sky Moore in a mid 23-1 for Chris Olave. Sky Moore in a mid 23-1 for Olave.
If the other owner will take that. I mean,
are you just not high on Sky Moore at all? You think?
No, Sky Moore has been completely uninvolved thus far. He's got 1 reception on 1 target for 30 yards over these 3 games that he's been in. His snap share looks like 19%, 4%, 13%. I'm not saying it's always going to be that way, but Chris Olave looks like a superstar right now. Chris Olave looks like the future is him, essentially.
Yeah,
so,
and when you look at who else the Saints have, they have an aging Jarvis Landry who's just going from team to team year after year, and Michael Thomas, which you don't know who you're going to get out of him. The fact that he's setting the world on fire now with those guys, and they're not going to have those guys for very long. I'm siding with Goni on this one.
Yeah, I really, it's hard not to fall into the trap, right? With the way these rookie wide receivers have just produced immediately. in the last couple of years, like Burks, Sky Moore, George Pickens, these guys could be legit. They could just be following the curve of a usual rookie wide receiver.
That's true.
You know, but I agree with you guys, man. Olave just looks different. I think he's a little bit of a function of Jameis, just chucking it downfield a lot. I'm curious to see what he looks like with Andy Dalton this week, but I agree. You make the move. Obi Sean 91, 10-team half-point PPR contender. Kudos to your name, by the way. I know Wayne likes that one. Bateman, Trey McBride in a late 23-1 for A.J. Brown.
Snap call.
Yeah, if you're getting A.J. Brown, well, golly, I'd poke a hole through my phone accepting that one.
It would blow your circuit boards. Snap accepted.
Golly, my finger would be dislocated all the way trying to just snap call that one.
Yeah, we're going to move on to the next one. That's a layup. Sufficient rig, half-point PPR. And, Wayne, I'm going to start with you on this one. Mid-23 second for Rashad White. Backup RB in Tampa.
It doesn't matter. This doesn't matter either way. It really doesn't.
It doesn't matter.
Just quit the league.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, I mean, this one. I see. The thing with me is I have no idea what the Tampa offense is going to look like next year. So Lenny's going to be there next year. Tom Brady's not going to be there. Are we going to still pass the ball a lot? Or are we going to go into a run-first offense? One thing I do know is we haven't really had a fantasy-relevant running back until Lenny this year and Doug Martin way back when he set the rushing record. We've drafted a running back in the third round of the draft like 3 straight years. That I'm not trusting a Bucks back very much, but mid-second round pick next year is also a dart throw. So I mean that's why I say it doesn't really matter. Just pick who you're most comfortable with. I'm not comfortable with a Buccaneers running back personally.
He's giving up the pick, or he's giving up Rashad White?
The pick.
Yeah, no. Rashad White was a dart throw of a pick coming into this rookie draft. He's not what I would want personally either, so I would keep my pick and just go ahead and throw that dart at someone else.
Go back up to the board, pluck it out, and take your spot on the line and throw another one next year.
Yep. Okay. Michael's Motorcycle, 14-team half-point PPR. Give Terry McLaurin, Noah Fant, a 23 second and third. Get Darren Waller and Darnell Mooney. Goni, are you buying low on Darnell Mooney? Terry McLaurin, Noah Fant, a second and third for Waller and Mooney.
Yeah, I think so. More so for Waller. Terry McLaurin has been he's been this year.
Yeah.
I mean, he is the wide receiver 29 right now. His targets have come up in week 2 and week 3. How long is Carson Wentz going to be there? I don't know. I don't know how long of a contract he signed with them. Either way, he's probably going to be in line for an extension. I mean, it's just tough. That one's definitely a tough one for me because Darnell Mooney is not bad. He's just not getting any of the opportunities at all. I don't think Justin Fields is looking like the future by any means. So
he's looking like he's going to be out of the league in 2 years, is what Justin Fields looks like. Honestly.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. He looks awful as far as that. But you know what? I'm going to go with you're only giving up a second and a third along with these other guys. Give me the tight end position, which is harder to find, a stud at. Wide receivers are usually a dime a dozen. So let me at least get I won't say top tier tight end, but maybe one right under that. And then I'll just try and either hope Mooney gets better via Justin Fields, or you can just hopefully hit one in the upcoming draft.
Wayne?
the Bears got to start throwing the ball, right?
They
Have to.
They have to. I mean, regardless of how mediocre Justin Fields has looked, it's hard to get into a rhythm when you're throwing the ball 12 times a game, right? Like they've got to start. They've got to start throwing the ball, and that's going to equal Darnell Mooney output. Darnell Mooney obviously isn't getting any worse. I'm taking the Darren Waller, Darnell Mooney side because I just feel like the Bears, they've got to start throwing the ball, and everybody knows it. And eventually, the Bears coaching staff will figure it out. And just give me the positional advantage of tight end. I'm with you. He's tier 2, but he's arguably the best tier 2 tight end. Give me that, and Mad Mom knows me. If it's not a first round pick in the rookie draft, I'm not too worried about it. Give me Darren Waller, and hopefully the Bears start passing the ball more, and you can actually get some value out of Darnell Mooney.
Yeah, I also will be going with the high-scoring offenses of the Bears and Raiders. Take the Darren Waller side. Ronton 22, and Wayne, I'm gonna let you take a first crack as our resident Superflex expert. Give Kyler Murray. It says Taylor. I assume it's Jonathan Taylor. And Juju Smith-Schuster. Get Michael Pittman, A.J. Brown, Deshaun Watson, 23-1, and Cordarrelle Patterson. You're giving away Kyler, Jonathan Taylor, and Juju. You're getting Pittman, A.J. Brown, Deshaun, 23-1, and Cordarrelle.
Yeah, give me that. Give me Deshaun, Pittman, and A.J. Because Kyler is not looking too good. I think Deshaun's going to come out and be what he's always been for the Texans. If Kyler was looking like he's looked in past years, where he's like an auto 20 points, then that's one thing. He just hasn't been a fantasy machine like he has in the past. A.J. Brown's been good. Michael Pittman, you all know how I feel about Michael Pittman. I think he's going to be amazing. Cordarrelle will help a little bit with the loss of Jonathan Taylor. And my reasoning here is you're obviously slotting A.J. Brown and Michael Pittman into your lineup immediately. So you're getting two positive point totals in those two positions, and then you throw Cordarrelle where Jonathan Taylor would be. I think that those two, where you're getting better, are going to be enough to kind of make up for what you're losing going from JT to Cordarrelle, and then you've got the draft next year to hopefully replace Patterson.
Well, what if? And Yoni, I'm gonna let you answer because I really want to hear what you have to say too. Mm-hmm. What if Deshaun Watson isn't the same Deshaun? What if he's lost a little bit of it, Wayne? Do you still do the trade? Because we don't know what he's going to be yet. We're assuming.
I'm looking at it this way. So I'm kind of Kyler Murray hasn't been what he is. All I know is the positional advantage that you're getting, benching the two receivers that you do have starting and going to A.J. Brown and Michael Pittman is going to be you're going to be getting more points out of those than what you'd be losing going from JT to Patterson. And Kyler hasn't been setting the world on fire as it is. You know what I mean? So if Deshaun Watson comes in and isn't who he's been, then he's probably going to be producing what Kyler Murray's producing now.
Okay. Goni?
I'm kind of on the fence, honestly. What's the one thing going on right now with Kyler Murray that you can probably pin some of the struggles on?
It's probably D-Hop, right?
Probably D-Hop. I agree. He hasn't looked good by any means. I don't think it's because he's lost anything. He doesn't have his number one. We've seen recently over the years how massive adding that number one target to a quarterback can possibly be. So, I mean, I'm factoring that in. D-Hop is he's getting older. He's like 30 years old. Watson, Will he have it? Is Amari Cooper going to be that guy for him?
Who did he have? Who did he have before though?
Before D-Hop?
Who did he have at Houston?
D-Hop and Fuller.
D-Hop? His whole life?
Did he have D-Hop his entire career?
Uh-huh.
Not for the last year, I think, Goni, maybe 2.
Oh, except for the last year?
I think he had D-Hop except for his last year.
Yeah, correct.
Maybe his last
correct.
2, maybe.
Yeah, D-Hop was already there and established well before Watson got there. So he's come up with D-Hop his entire career. And then we saw him without, and he still crushed it with best friend forever, Will Fuller, who's still not on a team.
Is Will Fuller better than Amari Cooper?
No.
I can't comfortably say that he is, considering he hasn't played football in forever. That's all.
Saying.
I mean,
like if he did it with Will Fuller, is it far fetched to think he'll do it with Amari?
Well, Will Fuller was a burner, an absolute field stretcher. His entire career, Will Fuller's been phenomenal. He just could never stay healthy. And then the one year that he did, we found out that he probably only stayed healthy because he took PEDs. So take it for what you will, honestly. The man was the number 4 wide receiver, like before he left and got suspended for PEDs. Will Fuller was a dog. All this being said, I'm still on the side of I believe that Watson is young enough and talented enough to still be really good. I like the 2 stud wide receivers. And Cordarrelle Patterson is outscoring Jonathan Taylor as of right now. Cordarrelle Patterson's the RB7 as of us going into week 4 right now. And Jonathan Taylor is the RB11, I believe. So, I mean, I would take it. Give me the package side with the stud wideouts.
And you mentioned it too. Like, if Kyler's fantasy value drops this much without D-Hop, D-Hop's only got about 2 years in him, right?
Yeah.
Then what? You know what I mean?
Sure.
So,
do you guys realize Cordarrelle Patterson's 31 years old, doing what he's doing?
Yeah, I had all the hate for him coming into the year. Him and James Robinson both. I think we all did. And they've been 2 great surprises, really, for just the league in general. They've been producing, so we'll see how long it goes for. I'm not trading for him, obviously.
Yeah, Cordarrelle Patterson doesn't have the mileage on him. It's not like he's been doing this for 8 straight years. He was a return man for the Vikings. Like, he hasn't been like that dude until he came to Atlanta. So he's really only got 2 years of straight running back mileage on his body.
Correct. Djangaroo Cac 2, 10-team, 1 quarterback PPR. Give Javonte in a third. Get Saquon.
Ooh.
I can't do it. No. Javonte is going to be great next year.
Yeah, I don't feel good about it. Djangaroo Keck, I remember him. We answered one on one of the first Q&As for this man. No, keep Javonte. I'm on board. You're younger there. You have way less injury history. I think you're going to be on a better team. You don't even know where Saquon's going to be next year. Maybe he plays his way into another contract with the Giants at possibly a discount.
They're not letting him walk. You know that.
I still think he's a dead man walking.
Either way, though, you have to figure this. They're absolutely letting Daniel Jones walk. That man looks awful. Yeah. So not only do you need to fix your O-line still through the draft or free agency, you got to fix the quarterback position through the draft or free agency. I just don't want to be a part of that team. I think the Broncos get better. It's a run-first team more than anything, and they can't possibly be any worse than they have been.
And Melvin Gordon seeing himself out.
Who scored more fantasy points this year? Just curious. Russell Wilson or Daniel Jones? I really don't know.
With you asking me, I feel like it's a trap.
It's not a trap. I really don't know.
It's one of those, let's play a game. Russell Wilson is the QB 24 as of right now. And who are we talking about? Daniel Jones. That's how forgettable he is.
He's 19. I just looked it up. Okay, just curious. I really wasn't trying to be nasty. I really didn't know. I'm going to be different. I don't hate you with Javonte. You are losing 3 years, but let me just give a devil's advocate side, right? Saquon's 25. He's missed 2 years of injury, right? So he's really got a 23-year-old in terms of mileage on his legs.
And that's
You like
not
that
really how
logic?
it works with injuries.
You don't think so? Okay.
Coming into the season, you weren't like, well, James Robinson's like 23 years old with one major Achilles injury, so he's really like 22 years old worth of Achilles.
His ligaments and cartilage has all been trashed, so he had to rehab an injury for a year. So that year didn't exist.
It's young ligaments and young cartilage. That's what makes this equation work.
All right. So it was an Achilles injury. It's historically been a death note for all running backs. James Robinson, seriously, will be the first one to overcome that injury, which if he does, great for him. Saquon looks good. He looks really good. I mean, he looks like the once-in-a-generation kind of prospect that he was. I think the Giants only get better off. They can't get much worse. They only get better. Javonte has less points per game in his career than Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I threw it out at the beginning of the year. I hold to it. And like Goni said, and I did not think this until Goni said it, what if Denver rolls a constant rotation out with Javonte? His ceiling is capped. Saquon's a ceiling guy. Javonte's a floor guy. Give me the ceiling guy. In a 3-year window, I think Saquon gives me enough in 3 years.
He could. He absolutely could. That is the most. It would be the most infuriating and terrifying thing ever. And we're all going to be waiting for it. Do the Broncos draft a running back next year or sign one in free agency? That right there, you're going to see fire sales of Javonte Williams if that happens. And yeah, it's terrifying. So I'm just on the side of I own Javonte in a league or two, and I'm going to ride with him and just gamble. Did it with Gabe Davis as well coming into this before all the hype was real and we saw anything. I was terrified that the Bills were going to draft a wide receiver with solid draft capital in like the second round. It didn't happen, and it came to fruition. You gamble and you win sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think in a vacuum, I was playing devil's advocate. In a vacuum, I like the Javonte side. I mean, but I think there's a legit, play here for Saquon. Go with your gut, man. Sold my R. Bateman and Fields for Jalen Hurts and Jeff Wilson.
Is it this one quarterback league?
Yes. He has Stafford as his starting quarterback right now.
Give me Jalen.
Yeah.
Snap call.
Yeah.
Snap call. Easy one. I totally agree. 14 team, half point PPR, one quarterback. Hassan Haskins in a 20. Wayne, he might be all he's got, all right? Hassan Haskins and a 24 first for Dak Prescott. Right now, that's the only draft pick he's got. He's got Trey Lance and Kirk Cousins as his quarterbacks.
Nah.
You rolling with Kirk?
I'm riding with Captain Kirk all season, and I'm going to feel just fine about it. If that's the only pick I got and you're trading for Dak Prescott, nah.
Dak's riding his name. He ain't that dude.
Totally
Roll
agree.
with Kirk.
Totally agree with you guys on that one. I'm telling you, man, there's going to be a hard conversation in Dallas if Cooper Rush keeps winning games. Sorry, hang on here. Okay, 10-team PPR Superflex. So Wayne, as our resident Superflex expert, I'll start with you here. 23 late first, Isaiah Likely for Jamison Williams and a 23 third. 23 late first, Isaiah Likely for Jamison Williams and a 23 third. And I know Wayne. I know he likes Jamison Williams.
Give me Jamison Williams.
Man.
Give me Jamison Williams. I did, and one thing I might have answered it differently had I not read an article yesterday saying that Jameson Williams so far looks like he's going to absolutely hit the ground running in Detroit whenever he's back in the lineup. And I'm thinking of how Amon-Ra's hit the ground running, and if he gets any sort of that output, then you're in for a successful receiver for a long time to come.
I'm probably going to keep the first. That's just the way I saw it. Would you trade a first-round pick for Jameson Williams is how I essentially just read that
late
trade.
First.
A late first, yeah. I'm probably Jameson Williams. I think is still going to be really good. I just don't like the competition that he has there in Amon-Ra. But what I like even less is Jared Goff, and I don't know what his future looks like. I don't know what Jared Goff's future as the Detroit Lions quarterback looks like, who might be there next year, anything of the sort. So he's going to have to break into the offense. Jared Goff, even if he is there, cannot support two wide receivers like that. He just can't. So, I mean, really, it's pick your point. If you believe in Jameson Williams, by all means, go out. I think he has the raw physical tools and talent to be a very good wide receiver. It's just sometimes being a great playmaking wide receiver, or just a good NFL player in general, like you're at the mercy of your situation. And I just don't love the situation that I'm looking at for that in the future. So I personally would just take the one and try and find someone in the draft.
I like Jameson Williams. I'm with Wayne. We're going to make history twice in 1 week, Wayne. I'll agree with you. I think Jameson Williams, he was the third receiver off the board in this draft class, and what's turning out to be an extremely loaded wide receiver class. I think he's the perfect complement to Amon-Ra. I think Detroit's building something really, really nice. I think he's more of the boom or bust mold, like the Bateman, kind of 4 for 80 and a touchdown kind of a guy. I think he's super talented. And before the injury, they were saying he might even be the best receiver in the class. So I'm going Jameson, but I'm with Goni. I think it is a coin flip, right? It's what is your projection of Jameson Williams? Very simple. I'm going to do this one for my own benefit. Fatty Doodoo says one quarterback.
Nice.
I can't read that and not just chuckle. I'm not mature enough. Fatty Doodoo, one quarterback, Khalil Herbert for a 24 second. And I'm going to take this one first, guys. I'm going to throw out some – I traded away Khalil Herbert. Goni hit me with the side text. Wasn't real happy about it. Before we say Khalil Herbert to this, 6th-round running back, those guys don't hit. And if they do, it's at a very low rate. He's going to be 25 next year. There's no guarantee they don't bring Demo back. He doesn't catch the ball out of the backfield, never has in his career, didn't at Virginia Tech. I know he's a volume play this week because of injury, but are you really leveraging future for Khalil Herbert?
It is a 2nd-round pick, right?
It is. In 2024.
In 2024. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to do it. Some people just need running back depth, man.
Sure, I get it.
We're one of them. If I could trade a 2nd-round pick right now for Khalil Herbert, I would absolutely do it. He can be a league winner if Monty is out for an extended period of time. If he happens to go down with an injury for the rest of the year, he's got standalone flex value, in my opinion, even if Monty plays. He's going to get his carries. I'd project probably anywhere between 8 and 10 carries a week, even with Monty in there. It's just the offense that the Bears are running. We talked about, is Justin Fields going to throw the ball more than 15 times? He might not, but they seem really content on running the ball right now, and they're 2-1. Yeah. So, I mean, if they're behind, of course they're going to hopefully throw the ball, right?
Yeah.
It's just he's one of these old rookies coming in. He's only got 1 year of experience. That's all. This is his 2nd year in the league. It's just like a Najee kind of situation. So I'm not really worried or turned off about that. I know the draft capital is something that people should definitely take note of as far as him being a 6th-round running back. But, dude, Wayne hates it. He passes the eye test, man. He just does. He showed it last year. He's shown it this year. I think that he has great potential to take over the team next year.
Wayne?
You know how I am. If it ain't a first round pick, I don't really care. I'll give me Khalil Herbert. Give me the guy that's on a team and showing that he's capable of doing it. If they bring Demo back next year, I think Khalil Herbert finds a home somewhere else, especially if he keeps showing out with the opportunities that he's given. Like Goni said, he's 25, but he doesn't have a lot of NFL mileage on him, so he could easily kind of hit that. If he finds himself in a good situation and keeps going in the direction that he's going, he could be successful up until he's 28, 29. So give me the guy that I've seen run the ball successfully in the NFL over some second round pick 2 years from now.
Plus the Bears always have a good run game. Like, someone is always good, dude. It was Jordan Howard even for a year, and then you saw Jordan Howard go elsewhere. They've had their Matt Fortes. They've had just guy after guy after guy just go in and put up some good numbers.
Yeah, I agree. You're doing this trade for sure. I just wanted to, again, play a little devil's advocate on guys that might be overpaying for Khalil Herbert. Just don't leverage your team's future on them quite yet. 12-team half-point PPR. I'm not even Inukie Asur. Give Khalil Herbert, Zay Jones, and a 24-2 for Treylon Burks.
What was the pick?
24-second, Zay Jones and Khalil Herbert for Treylon Burks. Half-point PPR.
It's on you, Wayne. This your boy.
While Wayne has his patented pause, I'm taking the Treylon Burks side. Draft capital. He's got a ton of opportunity in Tennessee. He's not getting the snaps right now, but I think he will. Give me the upside.
I'll take him too. I think Tanny turns it around. Derrick Henry's not going to be there forever. I think they're going to have to rely more on the pass with the mileage that Derrick Henry's got on his body. I don't think they're going to rush him as much as they've rushed him in the past. And if, like I said, Ryan Tannehill's hasn't been great this year, obviously, but we know he can be. And any sort of improvement from Ryan Tannehill, couple that with throttling Derrick Henry's rushes a little bit, can only help Treylon Burks. And Zay Jones, I'm not sold on him. Khalil Herbert, we just talked about. He could be good, but right now his relevance is dependent on injuries.
Yeah. Goni, as our resident Burks hater.
And resident Herbert
man.
lover.
Yeah, I'm both of those things. I don't love it. I really don't love it. I guess I would be taking the shot on the upside. At the same, I don't know, man. It's so rough. Like, I like Herbert going into next year, man. I really believe that he can be that dude next year. It's just whether or not he is, we don't know. No one can see the future and stuff on that. You were talking about before how this class looks so promising with the wide receivers. You got to have duds. There's going to be duds. Not everyone's going to be a stud, man. So Treylon Burks has been that guy for me that's going to be the dud. I have doinks on it. Give me the package, man. I'd rather go with the package. Trevor Lawrence is looking better, so Zay Jones is gaining relevance. Give me the pick. It doesn't feel good either way. I'm not going to lie. If you want the upside on a young guy and you want to stack him up, take your Treylon Burks, though.
Is that the first time Zay Jones has ever been on the take side of a trade for you, Goni, ever?
Ever. Like I said, it doesn't feel good.
Yeah. We're going to wind it down here. We just got a few more. This one's going to be kind of a home run shot. I'm really curious to hear your guys' opinion. Coffee egg rolls. Team A. And it's a super flex, half-point PPR. Wayne, as our resident super flex expert, I'll start with you. Travis Kelce. This is Team A. Travis Kelce, Nick Chubb, DeAndre Hopkins, and Deontay Johnson. which is two of Wayne's favorites. I'm curious. Team B, Goddard, ETN, Jay Jetta, and a 24 first.
Team A.
Kelsey, Chubb, Hopkins, and Deontay for Goddard, ETN, Jetta, and a 24-1. Superflex half-point PPR.
Yeah. You're winning now if you're Team A. Goddard. Dude, Goddard, man.
He's looked great. He's been great this year. Are you really giving him the poo-poo platter already?
Compared to Travis Kelce?
No, not compared to Kelsey. No.
Okay. And then who else you got? You got Jay Jetta.
Yeah.
Travis Etienne. Etienne, you mean the guy that's playing second fiddle to James Robinson right now? You're also gambling on upside for him. Nick Chubb is a way better running back than Etienne, so I'm getting better in two spots.
Yeah, but you're getting a lot older. Much older.
Yeah, are you trying to win now or what?
I agree. What? Team A is the win now. I mean, Hopkins, like you said, maybe next if you're lucky. I do like Deontay Johnson.
Yeah, Team A's win now. Team A is I'm going for the championship this year.
Yeah, but does Team B keep you competitive for over a longer period of time? With Jetta, I love Jetta, man.
I'm not about
ETN.
He's going to be fine.
ETN doesn't look good.
It's game script.
Is he going to be fine?
Leading. Yeah, absolutely. It's game script. James Robinson's been on the field more because Jacksonville's been winning.
Because he's been playing better.
James Robinson.
James Robinson has looked better and played better than ETN. That's why it's game script. That's why he's on the field. That's the thing. That's the thing that I look at here is I'm not worried about what's going to keep me competitive longer. If Team B keeps me competitive longer, but Team A puts me in championship contention now, I'm not worried about next year.
Yeah, Beggs, you even said it yourself, and it's a good point for dynasties especially, man. If you ain't first, you're last. Actually, not even if you're last, you're still kind of almost first. You don't want to be in the middle. You don't want to be in the middle. You want to be in the top four or the bottom four.
And this is what a lot of people stumble in dynasties is they're so worried about their future and staying competitive in the future that they are constantly working towards a better future, and it's extremely detrimental to their now. So it's like they're in a constant rebuild. They get somebody with some talent who's been in the league 2 years, and it's like, oh crap, I got to sell him to get younger so I can be good next year. Eventually, somebody's got to win it that year.
You need to have veterans too. You're never going to win a championship with rookies and second-year guys. Caught in the perpetual rebuild because you're never going to win like that.
Yeah, Wayne, you make a really great point, and a lot of people in Dynasty do get caught up in that. I totally agree with you. I know I'm guilty of thinking that way too. I just feel like, and you guys know I love Kelsey. Jetta to me is a diamond, man. I mean, that's a guy that I'd love to get my hands on. Give me Jetta over Deontay Hopkins. Easy, right? Chubb's a great running back. I know I'm higher in ETN than you got. I don't know. I see what you're saying. We'll go Team A, win now. Team B, if your team is in the trash bag.
What's ETN's value though in a half point? It's got to be next to nothing.
He dropped 2 touchdowns week 1. He didn't drop. He dropped 1 and then he had 1 overthrown. If he catches those 2 balls, we're talking about ETN totally differently.
Yeah, same thing with Allen Robinson. If he didn't drop the 1 ball and if he didn't get the whistle called on him on another, it's a completely different season. But the bottom line is it didn't happen, though.
It didn't happen, but the opportunity's there. That's what fantasy's about. I know you don't like volume, so I know you're not going to understand this, but it's all about the opportunity. Give my guy, as long as my guy's getting a chance to score. Allen Robinson might be a good buy low guy, honestly.
So
right?
you get points for opportunities or you get points for making plays?
The more opportunities you have, the more plays you can make, my friend.
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, at the same time, you still have to make the plays.
You do. You do. Team A, if you're competing. Team B if your team's trash. 10-man PPR Superflex. El Zano 004.
Wayne, we'll
CEH.
go to you first
As the resident Superflex expert.
as the resident Superflex guy.
We have every podcast needs a Superflex guy. We've got ours in Wayne.
Nice.
Give CEH for Amari Cooper.
Oh, nothing to do with Superflex. Got it. Cool.
Wayne, I'd love to hear your opinion
that was
first.
such. That was
I'd love to
so-
hear your opinion first as our
You
Superflex
could
guy.
have literally just said, "All right, this question's about fantasy football." That would have been enough information for this trade.
Oh man.
I don't know. I don't like either of them. Give me the running back position.
Goni,
I don't forget who we're talking about. CEH for who?
Amari Cooper.
For Amari Coops. I hate both of these guys. I really do. I hate both of these guys.
So that's why I said, give me the running back position.
Yeah, give me the running back as well. Ty goes to the running back.
I can't even say his name. I can't even say it. Just give me the RB.
I'm going with Cooper on this one. I hate him too. I think CEH is he's just not getting the snaps. Adamopoulos, 12-team Superflex. So we'll start with Wayne here. He's got Aaron Rodgers as a quarterback that he's having to play right now. That's important for this question. Do you think he should trade DK Metcalf to get Matt Stafford and David Bell? The way I read it is Aaron Rodgers is his second QB, and he's a little worried. Should he give Metcalf away to get Stafford and Bell?
Nah, Aaron Rodgers is going to be fine.
Yeah, or I would try and pair Aaron Rodgers with another small piece to get a younger quarterback if that's what he's going for. I wouldn't do it either personally. I would take a different route to getting a different quarterback.
Aaron Rodgers is going to be just fine. He always is. He had his typical week one dud. Last week he played against a top tier defense. He's going to be fine.
Okay. I totally agree with you guys. Pain Train, Money Man. He's got to pick one, and as a resident pick one guy, Goni, I'm going to start with you.
You're the pick one guy, man. I don't ever have picks. What's a pick?
Team 1, DJ Moore. Team 2, James Cook, and a second rounder.
Oh, gross. Oh, gross.
Does the tie go to the running back here?
No, it doesn't, man. I have to pick. Yeah, you got to go DJ Moore on that. You're buying
Yeah,
DJ
you
Moore.
do.
Ultra low. The ultra low. That's what I'm saying. That's a disrespectful trade to have been sent.
Lord have
James Cook
mercy.
in a second for DJ Moore? No, I'd rather sit DJ Moore all year in hopes for a better tomorrow than take James Cook in a second.
And there will be better tomorrows. Trust in DJs.
Yeah.
And he's still like 24 years old. He's been 24 for the last 7 years, man. Like he's fine. He's young. He's going to be there playing for a while. So the age is not a thing.
Take DJ Moore. I'm going to ask you guys a question about fantasy football. I really like to make it a segment.
You're in the right spot.
Trash bags episode.
You're in the right spot.
Do you guys get butt hurt if somebody sends you a very bad, uneven trade? Or is it just one of those things like you laugh and decline it?
No,
Or do you do something
I get a
passive-aggressive?
little butthurt. I got a trade the other day, DJ Moore for CD Lamb.
You got a little butt hurt about it?
Yeah.
Goni,
He didn't know about it until I was actually told him. I tried to play on his heartstrings of DJ Moore love. It's not the worst trade he's ever seen by any means. Yeah, actually, I definitely get upset. I don't even know a guy in the league that we're all in together, and I hate his guts. WJ Callis. Hate that guy's guts. He sends the worst trades known to man.
Bishop. Your friend Bishop sends the worst trades of all time.
I don't know. Callis, man, asked for Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, and Tyler Lockett for like a better tight end than Noah Fant last year.
That was it.
That was it. Yeah.
There was a
It was like Waller, and like some other wide receiver he wanted to give us for Jalen Waddle, Jamar Chase, and Tyler Lockett.
Didn't he want? Because in one of our leagues, the one we own together, the one where we're reigning champions, beat Begley 3 times in the same
That
year.
one.
Didn't he want? We're on the hunt for a tight end. Not so much anymore because we realized just if you don't have Mark Andrews or Travis Kelce, what's the point? We were just trying to find like a serviceable tight end. So whenever Jeff Wilson emerged and Tyler Lockett has been playing good this year, we were like, okay, we'll pair them because they've been playing good. I think it was like Jeff Wilson, Tyler Lockett, and maybe a draft pick for Freiermuth. Fair. And I don't know where he came from, and he came back with Freiermuth and a first for like Austin Eckler and Jamar Chase, or something egregious like that.
Something absurd.
What was he being passive aggressive and just sent like he felt like you slighted him, so he was going to slight you back with the even more offensive trade?
I guess. And here's one of my pet peeves in like the whole trading game is everybody. It's okay to make low level trades. If you got some low level guys, me and Begley made a trade this week. I have 0 running back depth, 0, and Begley's rebuilding in a dynasty. I had Jameson Williams, he had J.K. Dobbins. We just traded. We swapped. I took J.K. Dobbins because I literally have no depth, and I have Demo starting. I think after Demo, I don't even know who I would have had to put in there. Something stupid like Trey Sermon or something.
Yeah.
So I had to make a move. I can't stand the people that can't just make a low-level trade. They always got to turn stuff into blockbusters. Just make low-level trades if it's necessary, and it helps you both out. You don't have to throw in the studs on your team to make a trade happen.
Also, don't waste my time with I mean, there's a difference between countering and negotiating. If you end up getting somewhere, or you at least have productive conversation. But no, man, I'm not going to trade you Jamar Chase for your third string wide receiver that just came off the practice squad. Nah, get out of here with that.
Yeah, I first of all, I agree with Wayne. The best trades are usually the low level ones where everybody's kind of fitting a need in the trade. Everybody's winning. I agree with you, Wayne, and that's usually those are the rarest trades. Honestly, it's sad. Why get butthurt over a bad trade? Just decline it, right? Because I don't know how you value a player. You know how I value a player. A third for Chase, sure, that's stupid. But if it's in the realm of possibility, whatever, right? Like if I'm half interested, I'll counter, and you whittle it down until you get to the right point. But some people just reject it and just shut down. Like they get offended about it. It's fantasy football, man. It's just a pet peeve of mine. I don't know how you value players until we kind of go back and forth a few times. You know what I mean?
But I mean, you know the general value of a player.
Sure.
You haven't traded with Callis, I guess, or tried to trade with Callis.
I have tried very hard.
So what's the general consensus?
He's quite miserable to trade with.
All right, that's all I'm saying, man. Some people I've worked with you. We've played poker and cards and talk together for a couple hours at a time, just working on trades. Sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't, and that's fine because I respect your opinion on it, and we at least have productive conversation that's in the ballpark of what we're talking about here.
It seems like when trades can't work, it's because we just don't have the right pieces to make it an equal trade. Like if we'll have that one piece that'll put us at an overpay that we're not willing to do, and then we take that piece away, and then you're at a slight overpay at that. We just don't have the exact pieces to make the trade what it needs to be. That doesn't mean it's an egregious trade. It just means we don't. Our 2 + 2s aren't equal 4, and you know what I mean. And those are the trades that are perfectly okay, that I honestly love talking about. I love working through. And I don't mind at all if they don't work out because we attempted it, and the pieces that we had at our discretion just couldn't add up to a good trade for either side, and that's what trade negotiations are all about.
Beggs, what's your feelings on getting a trade proposal of 7 turds for 1 stud?
Man, honestly, dude, I don't get butthurt about it. The way I look at it, it's just me. And I don't know a lot of times. A lot of times I don't know the guys I'm playing with. I don't know what they're like. But I try to look at the guy they're offering, and the guy they want. So I try to gauge their needs and their wants, and I'll usually will counter back with something. Dude, I just decline it. It doesn't bother me. I don't know. I don't get offended about it. You can send me all the urge you want.
You don't get like when the notification comes up that like say Goni Man sent you a trade. You don't just look at it. Not me particularly, but someone who's just notorious for sending trash trades. And you just get the notification and you see it, and before you even open it up, you're like, this guy again.
I'm probably that guy to a lot of people.
That's exactly what I was going to say. That's why Begley doesn't get butthurt, because he's that guy.
Makes sense. It all makes sense now.
You guys know, I mean, in the leagues we're in together, I've made a million trades. I think it's a big part of fantasy. I don't know a lot of people, so the only way for us to gauge players' value is to counter back and forth enough times to where we take this awful trade and we whittle it down to something half decent. Sometimes that's just the process you have to go through, I find, honestly.
This year, Begley, we did a startup dynasty, and Begley had so much fun. He didn't even go to the draft, by the way. What a bad guy. Neither did Wayne. These guys just don't show up, taking out some of the fun of it. But either way, he had such a good time drafting for like 20 rounds last year that he decided, you know what? Let me trade away all those pieces, and I want to draft that many people again next year in the rookie draft. full rebuild right away, off jump.
I think he does have about 5 first-round picks next year.
6.
6. And Mad Mom, let me defend myself. I got a slam dunk offer for Brandon Cooks. I got a slam dunk offer, in my opinion, for A.J. Dillon. I had to take both. It weakened my team. There's a couple really top-heavy people in the league. I didn't think I was going to win it this year. I think Wayne and Goni both have better teams than me. So I took a stat. I tried to take advantage of some of the guys in the league, and try to just stockpile picks. It worked out. I think my team's better, actually.
He did get two monster trades to start out the season, and so he took the mindset of, I'm not competing this year, so let me blow it up. He got good value on him. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I just like to clown him a little.
That's fine. You can clown me. I'll take it. I'm just donating my money. I will write it off on my tax return this year. The last trade offer, gentlemen, which I'm going to end on a good one. Tip 2296. It's a 12-team, 1 quarterback, half-point PPR. Going all open with you. Gabe Davis, Jahan Dotson, and the 2023 third for Stephon Diggs. Is it close?
Gabe Davis, Jahan Dotson, and a third?
For Stephon Diggs. Goni, I'm going to open with you.
This guy, Wayne's crushing. Like, he's killing me right now. He takes Stephon Diggs, man.
God bless. That took you way too long.
He takes Stephon Diggs. I'm sitting here just watching you put your nostrils in the camera.
Yeah, because I was flustered that it took you so long.
Yeah, that's me. Anytime we ask you a question in general, and he just sits there.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about the question.
Music.
The question needs thought. That doesn't need thought.
Nah, it's called the Wayne patented pause for a reason.
Yeah. So Wayne, I'm gonna come to you here. That's not why this was a good one. He wants to know. He's listed his other receivers. He wants to know who you would include to make the trade fair. So he started out with a package of Gabe Davis and Jahan Dotson. He has T. Higgins, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Romeo Doubs, Noah Brown, Alex Pierce, and Elijah Moore. Is there any way you can get to Stephon Diggs? I assume he doesn't want to give away Amon-Ra or T. Higgins. Can he get to Stephon Diggs anyway here? He's got. I'm going to say the players' names one more time for you. Okay. He's got Gabe Davis, Jahan Dotson, T. Higgins, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Romeo Dobbs, Noah Brown, Alex Pierce, and Elijah Moore.
I think if you let Romeo Dobbs have another good week or two, him.
You go Romeo Dobbs, Gabe Davis, and Jahan Dotson.
Yeah. I think Romeo Dobbs is going to be really good. And I think if you just let the guy you're trading with see it for another week, he'll hold a lot of value. This is an Aaron Rodgers led offense. Who, if you're a guy that he looks at a lot, you're bound to have great fantasy value. But we've only seen it once, so obviously a lot of people are going to be skeptical about it. I think if he lets him ball out again this week, then he'll have a leg to stand on.
I disagree on the weighting 100%. I don't know. I guess a lot of people don't do this. Maybe they do, but I'm terrified sometimes to wait on a trade in hopes that my guy's getting better. Stephon Diggs has put up 26, 44, and 14 over the last 3 weeks. He's the wide receiver 2 right now. He's got a juicy matchup against Baltimore and then Pittsburgh next week. I don't want him to put up another 30 or 40 banger before I can make this trade.
Well, that's my thing. If you're not throwing in T. Higgins or Amon-Ra, I don't think you make it happen.
I'm throwing in Elijah Moore and a pick on top to make it happen. I'm making that happen today, right now. If I can give you whatever young players you need to make it happen, I'm making it happen.
No,
I understand where you come from.
That's my thing. Is I don't think Romeo Dobbs has done enough for it to happen. It's not like show him again, let him see it again, and then trade him. I just don't think people have seen it 1 week, and I don't think they're willing to do it after 1 week. Obviously, you don't want to wait because I think Stephon Diggs is going to do Stephon Diggs things week in and week out, and whoever has him on his roster is going to fall more in love with him week in and week out. So I'm not saying wait on that point. It's just I don't know who you would throw on top of it, like who you're trading with, who has Stephon. The other guy that you would include in the trade that's not Amon-Ra or T. Higgins that they would trust enough to give up somebody as dependable as Stephon Diggs. Cue the wait, see Romeo Dobbs do it again. Okay, now I got Gabe Davis, he's dependable. Now I got Romeo Dobbs, he's dependable. Jahan Dotson, not so dependable, but at least I've got 2 guys that are showing that they can be consistently good.
I would do T. Higgins in a small piece.
Well, I'm going to take this from another angle. I want to know what you guys think. Does he really need Stephon Diggs? If he's got T. Higgins, if he's got Amon-Ra, he's got Gabe Davis. Between Romeo Dobbs, Elijah Moore, and Jahan Dotson, it's a pretty good receiving core.
I know, I know this goes against like what we just said about everything doesn't have to be a blockbuster. But like if you really want Stephon Diggs that bad, I'm with Goni. Don't try and trade him a bunch of trash for it. Like just give him a solid guy and then a smaller guy. Give him. Are you mad if you give away T. Higgins and Gabe Davis for Stephon Diggs? And then you're starting Stephon Diggs and Amon-Ra?
I'm down with that. I'm definitely down with that. Stephon Diggs is getting all the volume. The man he gets everything. He's the number 1 target in one of the best offenses in the NFL. Way better than the Raiders, by the way. And it's just go get him. T. Higgins and Gabe Davis, absolutely. I would do that for Stephon Diggs. If you can get a little something back, just because I think it might be a slight overpay.
A little second round pick.
Yeah, a little something. But, do that. Do that.
If you have Stephon Diggs and somebody offers you T. Higgins and Gabe Davis, are you taking it?
It depends. Depends on what the rest of my roster looks like, man. It's always about the roster composition.
Take T. Higgins and Gabe Davis off of this guy's roster and assume he has Stephon Diggs. So we got Diggs, Amon-Ra, Romeo Dobbs, and Elijah Moore. Would you rather have T. Higgins and Gabe Davis, or would you rather have Stephon Diggs on this roster?
Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, because your WR2 is solid. And I think Romeo Dobbs is going to be good. We'll assume he's in my flex, and I'm fine with that.
Okay. Tip 22.96. There you have it. Make it happen, my friend. Quit trying to trade them trash. Upgrade your trade. Make it work.
Yeah, I hate the people that try and both teams got to get better, man. Both teams got to get better whenever you're trading. You can't just trade away your low tier guys and a bunch of bench guys for top tier players. I mean, it's going to leave a sour taste in everybody's mouth, and you're going to be blackballed from trading. So you just keep that in mind. If you wouldn't do it, if you wouldn't accept it from his end with his roster makeup, then don't propose it.
I think I just figured something out. I think the people that do that use the trade calculator. Like they just use trade calculators as their sole basis of trading. And all they have to do, what they're doing is they're just taking these extra trash players and just plugging them in and watching the bar rise up on the thing to give them value points or whatever. And it's like, oh, this is an even trade because this trade calculator says so. And it's not, man. It's not.
It's as simple as that. Put yourself in the ownership of the team you're trying to trade with. Would I accept that trade if I had that team? And if your answer is no, then don't propose it. It's a stupid trade.
Boom. And there you have it. Q&A. Q1. Done in the books.
That's it. Resident Superflex experts for MVP.
Boy.